By the time the Whitmore sisters decided to organize their so-called safety committee to try and destroy my farm, I already had the original road easement deed, hours of recordings of their shady little bribery attempts, and a detailed list of exactly which side of their million-dollar houses was sticking out illegally onto county land. But I should probably back up and tell you how this whole beautiful disaster really started, because the truth is, none of this began with lawsuits or angry meetings. It started on a plain old Tuesday morning. So, picture this. I'm standing in my own driveway, coffee cooling in my hand, watching Veronica Whitmore tear through my herb garden in her spotless $60,000 BMW. It's the third time she's done this week. The sound of basil getting crushed under those shiny tires, that's a special kind of heartbreak, let me tell you. The air fills up with exhaust, drowning out the clean smell of growing things. 3 months of work, gone in the space of a morning commute. She rolls down her window and gives me this look, a cross between smug and what are you going to do about it? She says, "Public road, honey," and speeds off. Her sister Beatrice is right behind in a Range Rover, making a game of swerving for extra plants. But see, what they didn't know is I'd been documenting everything. Every threat, every trespass, every time they laughed in my face. I was building a case while they were building their little kingdom. What would you do if someone just started destroying your livelihood to shave a few minutes off their commute? I mean, seriously, have you ever dealt with something this petty? If you have, let me know where you're listening from. But I'm not the only one with a Karen story to tell. Anyway, I'm Ezra Dalton. 3 years back, I inherited my granddad's 40-acre farm in rural Virginia. After nearly a decade with the Army Corps of Engineers, growing something instead of blowing things up sounded like the kind of peace I'd been chasing. I turned everything organic, herbs, vegetables, the whole deal. Turns out, patience and attention to detail, the stuff the Army drilled into me, fits farming like a glove. Restaurants in town started calling, saying my basil actually tasted like basil, not cardboard. Each morning, I'd walk the rows, boots crunching on gravel, breathing in that green, earthy smell you just don't get in a grocery store. I had maybe a year of that peace. Then Meadowbrook Estates happened. Some developer bought the field next door, slapped down 40 identical houses, all beige, all desperate to connect to the main road. The only way out? Right through my farm. There's a little access road that's been there since Eisenhower, meant for tractors, not latte runs. And somehow, certain neighbors decided my place was just a shortcut. You already know who. The Whitmore sisters, Veronica in her white BMW, sharp as a tack and twice as cold. Beatrice, her younger sister, all insurance adjuster scowl and Range Rover polish. Both live in McMansions bigger than some hotels. Both treat the HOA board like it's the Supreme Court. And both have made it their personal mission to complain about literally everything I do. My tractor's too loud, my equipment's too dusty, even the way I park on my own property. First time I noticed tire tracks through the basil, I figured it was a lost tourist. Security camera footage said otherwise. There they were, bold as brass. I tried being civil, walked up, explained I was losing a couple $100 in crops every week. Veronica? She actually laughed. I'm not talking a polite chuckle. I mean a cackle you'd expect from a villain in a bad movie. Public road, she said. Maybe look up prescriptive easement, farmer boy. Beatrice chimed in about how farms are outdated, how I should modernize. After that, things got ugly quick. What started as one shortcut turned into rush hour traffic, luxury SUVs, Teslas, even a yellow Hummer. My little access road became their personal interstate. I put up signs, got them painted over, and tossed in my irrigation ditch. Veronica filed complaints about my unsafe property, too much dust, aggressive dogs, my border collie is terrified of chickens, tractors impeding traffic. Her husband, Dale, who sits on city council, started leaning on county officials to investigate me. But I wasn't about to get steamrolled. 8 years in the Army teaches you the first rule of war: gather intelligence, fortify your position. I spent a whole weekend buried in property records, fingers black with ink, breathing dust older than I am. And I found the smoking gun. A 1962 deed stating the access road was for agricultural use only. Not public road, not residential shortcut, just for farm equipment, period. Knowledge nugget for you: old deed restrictions often override modern zoning. Always check the original covenants before you give up. While Veronica was busy playing victim on Facebook, live streaming unsafe farming practices, I upgraded my security: military-grade cameras, traffic counters, logs of every trespasser, complete with timestamps. The numbers? 47 unauthorized vehicles in a single week. Virginia law says that's $10 per incident. Multiply that out, and we're talking thousands in damages, all neatly documented for small claims court. When the county inspector finally showed up, right on cue, with Veronica, Beatrice, and a mysterious city planner in tow, they tried to ambush me with complaints and expired permits. But I laid out the deed, the logs, the photos. Inspector flipped through, eyebrows climbing, and told them the restrictions were ironclad. They left fuming, but I could see the cracks forming. But you think entitled people back down when they lose? Not a chance. The sisters doubled down, formed a safety committee, rallied the HOA, got a dozen neighbors to sign affidavits about dangerous farming, and called in every favor from their insurance and real estate networks. Suddenly, my own insurance carrier was hassling me about public exposure. Meanwhile, Beatrice's new hobby was filming my every move and spinning it online as farmers gone wild. Cute, right? So I fought back with science. Hired an independent soil assessor who found the trespassing had caused compaction and crop loss. Numbers I could bring to court. Hired surveyors who proved the sisters were trespassing by 47 feet every trip. But the real twist came when my guy found concrete markers from 1958 plus blueprints showing 3 houses, including both Whitmores, built right on county land. Illegally. Their million-dollar homes were encroaching, and the law was crystal clear. They could be forced to pay market rent or tear them down. I spent a week gathering every bit of dirt. The paper trail was brutal. Permits forged, boundaries ignored, final inspection signed off by a county inspector who conveniently retired to Florida with a beachfront condo right after. My legal team, led by Miranda, a lawyer with a mean streak a mile wide, started preparing for war. We filed complaints for bribery, thanks to Dale's recorded threats and offers, construction fraud, class action suits with other farmers who'd suffered the same corporate scam. Every trespasser got a certified demand for damages, and the county was forced to confront the Whitmore's illegal builds. You want to know what happens when entitled people finally realize they're outgunned? They panic. They started hiring private eyes to watch me, filing bogus police reports, even sabotaging my fence to make it look like I was the dangerous one. But I had everything on camera, and when push came to shove, they just handed me more ammo. Their final act, a circus of a public hearing. Hired actors, fake neighbors, wild accusations, all designed to turn the town against me. But I played it cool, documented every lie, called out their witnesses as out-of-county frauds, and waited. The next meeting, I played the recordings of Dale's extortion, laid out the evidence of construction fraud for everyone to see. County officials, state inspectors, even an FBI agent in the back row, all watched as the Whitmore house of cards collapsed. Dale resigned in disgrace, arrested for bribery and conspiracy. Veronica lost her real estate license and started working call centers. Beatrice got shipped off to Alaska, her house foreclosed after failing to pay legal bills and fines. The sisters were ordered to pay damages. Pinnacle Properties was hit with a multi-million-dollar settlement, and 3 illegal houses were either demolished or fined into oblivion. But the best part? My farm is quiet again. The county turned our legal battle into a precedent protecting agricultural easements statewide. We started a nonprofit for veterans looking to get into farming, with scholarships and free land leases, and the local restaurants doubled down on their partnerships. The fields where luxury cars used to tear up my basil are now rows of new crops, tended by people who care. My grandfather used to say, "Good land outlasts bad people." He was right. Patience, planning, and a little righteous stubbornness can beat all the money and power in the world. So what about you? Ever had a neighbor who thought the rules didn't apply to them? Drop your story below. I guarantee you're not alone. And hey, if you're ever tempted to take a shortcut through someone else's field, maybe think twice. Sometimes the quiet farmer is just waiting for the right moment to serve up justice, with a little extra karma on the side.